Sir, I just want to understand from your perspective as to what are the three most important things that we need to focus as a country and how do we execute it? Because I know that a lot of people have spoken about a lot of things, but the execution is somewhere missing to a large extent. And I do appreciate the BJP for doing what they've done. But in the next 5 years or the next 10 years, I'm sure we would need something much more than what we've done in the past 10 years. So what are the three most important things according to
Well,
you?
first of all, I've been reluctant normally to answer that kind of question because I believe no government can afford to neglect any area.
Okay.
But having said that, I mean, we will have to work across the board in every sector of the economy. But
Okay.
I would say, for me, the number one priority is human capital. Which is not to say I don't care about the infrastructure. I think it's like a computer that needs both hardware and software. The hardware of development, the ports, the roads, the airports, the railway lines, these are essential and we have to do those, we have to continue doing them. But the software of development has been neglected, and that's the education, the health access to healthcare within, say, 5 kilometers of your place of residence for every Indian. Educational opportunities that give you a decent prospect of getting into a real job and a real future. The ability to have a decent standard of living where you can afford to eat, have a roof over your head, etc. Clean drinking water, which is an underappreciated vital need for people in our country, which is sadly in many, many places, for many different reasons, not adequately available. So these are all things that generate human development, that make people happy, productive citizens of your country, your economy, your society. So that has been underemphasized. And I believe if I were to have a say, I would want to see a greater expenditure of effort and resources on these sectors: education, health, and basic provision of essentials for human beings. My idea is that every Indian will only truly feel that he's living in a Viksit Bharat if he's able to dream of a better future for his children by giving them a decent present and equipping them to lead a better life than he's had so far. And that's something which we can do. I resent all these comparisons to China and so on. We have no desire to become China. We are not China. We are very happy for the Chinese to be happy and grow and prosper. Let us grow and prosper in our own way, but let us make sure that our people have exactly what they need. And to my mind, this is something that we really need to give greater importance. So the number one is human capital. Number two is the physical infrastructure, I say both the hardware and the software. But the third is the operating system. I mean, I'm really using the computer analogy because it's so familiar to most of your listeners today. And the operating system is the entire apparatus of administration, regulation, government machinery, politics that frankly needs a thorough look at. I talked about Kerala in that context. Certainly we can do better nationally. When we were in power, we had asked Mr. Veerappa Moily to come up with a very detailed report on administrative reforms, only a portion of which have been implemented. I think it's worth looking at it again and maybe taking a fresh look. I thought the BJP did a good job in eliminating obsolete laws. We need to continue that work, but we also need to look much more severely at regulations. See, laws are relatively easy to take off the books. Regulations have an insidious habit of staying put forever and becoming entrenched in bureaucratic practice. And we need to take an axe to regulations and processes. We need, I think, to do all three: the hardware, the software, and the operating system, and we'll have a truly successful country in the years ahead.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching the Indian Business Podcast. If you find value in our work, please hit that subscribe button, because for you it might be a zero effort task, but for us that subscriber count is an important instrument to get great guests to our podcast and to make this podcast better for you. So if you find value, please subscribe.